Ray Finch, UKIP MEP for the South East. A bit of background on yourself. Who are you? Who have the people of the South East elected?
Well, I was born in Liverpool, as you can tell by the voice. I'm also a county councillor for Lee Park and Bedhampton in Hampshire. I was formerly the group leader for UKIP on the Hampshire County Council.
And a bit about kind of what you do. What's your kind of areas of interest, and where might you take an interest here in Brussels?
Well, frankly, nobody ever voted for the UKIP MEP to vote on committees and sit here and be a button-pushing monkey. What they voted for is for people to find out what these people are up to, come back to the UK, tell them, and then help us get out of the EU.
Does that mean that you're not planning on taking up a committee post? And how often are you planning then to be out here in Brussels?
Well, the committee posts have yet to be decided. I will do whatever the party tells me to. You know, I'm a loyal soldier for the party, so I will do that. I'll come here when I have to, but I would prefer to be out in the southeast of England telling people exactly what's going on in their name without them having a say on it.
And what kind of areas in particular do you think you'll focus on? Because there's so many different areas where the EU does have some influence. So, you know, for example, there's the environment, there's health, there's fishing, there's farming, there's any number of areas. Where are you going to be focusing your energy and, as you say, telling the people of the South East about what's going on here?
Yeah, as I say, and as you so rightly said, the EU has a huge influence. We're the only people who actually say that. What happens is the only time anyone in the other political parties mention the EU is when they wanted to blame the EU for one of their own failed policies. What we want to do is bring them the truth. It can be anything, but most of the problem is the economy and jobs. You know, we've got almost 1 million young people unemployed in the UK. You know, a lot of that is down to our government negating its own belief in doing anything about it. And we can only see a future for the UK outside of the EU, and we will try and relate that.
How are you going to balance your time as an MEP between your constituents and being in your constituency and being out here and, as you say, keeping an eye on what the European Parliament's doing here in Brussels and also in Strasbourg?
Well, the party's now got many years' experience of it, hopefully not too many years more. So I will be guided by the party on what to do and when to do it. You know, because I'm new here, so it would be ludicrous of me to say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do all this. I will be guided by the people in here who are experienced, who know what to do, who know the pitfalls.